Well, hello there. It's been a while since we've done a stream, but we are back live. My name is Joshua Stone, and I am your host for this Composing Live event. Today, we're going to be doing the Cowboy Bebop opening titles music. It's called Tank, and it's composed by none other than Yoko Kanno, which we've done another composition cover for. This time around, we're actually doing the jazz arrangement of a Yoko Kanno piece, which is way different, I would say, from her classical stuff, but equally as amazing. So, with that being said, we'll go ahead and get started. I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys a little bit of how this looks on screen. So, maybe you guys seen it, maybe not. Let me unmute this. And also, I see Guy on here. Hello. It's good to see you. I'm going to mute this music. Sometimes that gets a little bit annoying. All right, here we go. This is the intro that we're going to try to cover today. It's pretty cool if you haven't heard it.
I think it's time to blow this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
Off the screen there, you can see that. Alright, I actually screen captured this opening titles on YouTube. So as you can see there, and let me move myself. I've been able to move my camera in different parts of the screen for these purposes. But with that being said, what I was saying before is I screen captured this so you can see how there's like the YouTube cards that's suggesting the next video, as you can see here. But anyways, that's the best I could do as far as getting the music out there. With that being said, I don't think this was 100% in sync, but that's okay. So what I love about this music is it's kind of quirky in terms of, it's jazz, but it's like not the typical jazz music. It's something that you might hear in the 50s or in the 60s, just really just kind of wild, like crime heisty type music. And with that, I love the beginning. I'll play that again. Just everything about that just just screams cool. But with that, the chords and everything here in the beginning is really interesting. I don't know what kind of chord it's playing per se. It's doing some kind of seconds or ninths intervals, and to kind of give you a glimpse of that, I did sketch out a little bit today earlier to get you up to speed, get myself up to speed really, but to also just be able to figure out some things ahead of time. So this is some of the notes, not all the notes. Right? And without the drums and things, it just sounds kind of pleasant. But this is supposed to be more like gunshots, just something that's really aggressive and wild sounding. So we'll do our best. The samples I'll be using today, oh hello, I moved around there. Samples I'll be using today is the Glory Days album. Glory Days is from the Orchestral Tools library. It's one of the better, or one of the best, I would say, big band orchestra libraries, and I did not find anything really much more competitive than that. Maybe the Atomic Big Band, and even then, I'm still struggling to get a really good sound to try to match this, and that's okay. I mean, jazz is really hard to replicate with samples, anyways. But this is a pretty dang good library. With that being said, so we'll do mostly that with the Glory Days. I think I have some other horns. This is like the session horns from, let's say, Instruments, but it's probably a different company they bought. Um, so this is the session horns, and let's see. You can kind of hear how that sounds. I've also put some, some effects and things like that to try to get it to sound more mono, at least with the horns, and then get it to sound in the same the tone, like that vinyl-y, vintagey sound. That's gonna be hard, but we'll do what we can. There's also going to be some really cool guitars, and then add the bass on there. And then this, now that I'm listening it more and towards the end there, I think this might be like a electric bass actually, with some fuzz. But I kind of opted for the upright sound, but I might toy with maybe using an electric bass as well, just to see what sounds better. But there's definitely some distortion on the bass if you listen to the recording, and so I did that as well. I put some Devil Walk on there, which is a Sound Toys library. I mean a plugin. I put a little bit of crunch and things like that to get it distorted sounding, and then there's some cool drums here. That with this. So I'm gonna skip a few things here and there, but I do want to kind of start from the beginning to show you where I was kind of building towards, and maybe I can do a better job this time around. I will copy some of the things I've done earlier to just speed up with some of the things I figured out. So that's where we are in a nutshell. We probably won't do everything today, as this is sort of an exploratory thing for me as well. I haven't really done too much in this genre of music, and this with the Glory Days especially. I actually purchased this library back in Black Friday, and I haven't really got around to it until now, when there's just a little bit of a break here. So I thought this would be a great time, especially with the Yoko Kanno composition last stream. I thought it would be good to piggyback, and I've always wanted to do this one too. So, all right, let's go ahead and do that. Let me see where we are at. Sorry, this sometimes jumps around more than I want it to, but so I need to move this over to here. There we go. Okay, now we're good. Well, let's start from the beginning. So what we're going to do is maybe we start with the horns, just to kind of do the foundational stuff. And let's start with some bass. All right. Now that we're all in the music world of things, I hope everyone else is doing well here. Just a side note, I got a gum graft surgery done last Monday, and my face is like swollen. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm still recovering for that. And if I'm slurring or it kind of sounds weird, muffly, that's partly because my gums are swollen. I'm on some ibuprofen and whatnot, but anywho, so that's one thing to just keep in mind. So I'm trying not to talk as much today, but I mean, inevitably I still am talking. So I'm gonna actually try to dial down the talking today as well. Okay, let's bring that up. Okay. All right. So that's kind of a starting point. That's the volume that we want to be at, right? Okay. So let's see. Let's solo this. Okay. That might be enough to support the horns here that's coming up. There's also organ. So maybe, I don't know if I'll add, maybe I add that in just to hear how that sounds. And of course that's like a low pedal. Okay. All right. So we got that. Let's move our way up the spectrum here. So we got some baritone sax underway and maybe some bass trombone. We'll do that next. If you and also I just saw your note there, guy. If you use render in place, it will give you the notes. Oh, that's cool. That's great. I might have to do that on this one, but let let's let's see if we can use our ears first, and then maybe we can try that approach. That'd be kind of fun. So this is the Barry sax. Also, I'll pull up this library so you can see it. Also, let me turn off this video now so we have some more room here. On this, this is, as you can see, the contact library. It's not using sine or from the orchestral tools, surprisingly. So I thought that was interesting. And then let's see. First things first. If you use the mod wheel, it goes to like forte piano or fortissimo on the very tippy top. So we want that. And then if you go down, it goes like mezzo piano or something. So okay, all right. So I've also put some different types of expression maps in my template here. Okay, and as you can hear, as it creeps up the velocities, it triggers different attacks. Okay, so this is a little short, quiet as well. I'm kind of curious what a sforzando would do. Wow, that's interesting. Huh. As opposed to the other one, which is this marcato that I use. What if I did sforzando at the end? Okay, that's kind of interesting. Okay, so we got that. Now that we have some of these notes in here with the low end, we could probably copy this. Okay. All right, and let's just hear how that sounds. Excuse me. Let me mute that recording. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. And then let me mute all these guys too. Okay. All right, so there's kind of the low end stuff. Before moving on, let's just listen to the recording and see if there's anything there. Again, one more time. Sorry, there's like a weird click or something. Not sure why. Oh, look at that. Well, it's not quite on the grid, so that'll be a problem. Let's fix that right now. Or is it? Yeah, this thing's not quite on the grid, so even then it sounds a little funky. I don't know if I bounced it earlier and it might have cut off the beginning. Sorry. Anyways, that sounds right to me so far. Okay, so let's move on. Let's try cutting these down. And let's do the next note, which probably would be here, and the trombone. Alright, so these are all sort of just educated guesses. But what we're gonna do is we'll just do one of these type of tongues. What's cool with the staccatos is there's actually 3 staccatos as well with this library, which is more than generous to try to get different sounds out of it. Let me try this similar approach here though. Let's bring up the mod wheel. All right. Hey, Jathan! Jathan's in the house. Hey, how's it going? Long time no see. No, you didn't miss much. We're just starting right now. Okay, so this is the trombone 2, and we'll kind of build upwards from there, right? So now we're gonna be checking these 2 notes out. As you can see, they're spaced out like a 6 apart. But man, I'm wondering if I should just. This is kind of tedious. So first off, let's bring up the velocities. I'm kind of thinking maybe we do a little bit of the humanizing of the velocity there, so it's not so gunshot sounding. But I'm actually thinking, what if I just move these notes up rather than copying the notes from the keyboard, because that'll save some work with all this right here. So let's do that. And I guess we just go like this, and let's remember that. Okay, so here we go. Okay, all right. And we'll talk about the tone and some of the plugins I've used in a little bit more detail. I'm actually making these notes in the horns mono, or as mono as I can make it, just because that's how the recording is. Anywho, so we got that. Then I'll just bring this up, and then on the trombone 1 part, maybe, I mean, if it can, it's kind of high, so maybe we just double. Oh, excuse me. We just double this one like that. Okay. All right. So there's that. Last but not least are these 2, and then we'll put that in the trumpets. Well, actually, before we do that, let's actually bring all these guys that I just did for the trombone and bring it down to tenor sax, because that's what we need now. So, okay, something sounds a little awry in terms of the like. There's some kind of warbly thing. I think that's the plugin I'm using, and that I'll mention in a second. But yeah, something sounds a little warbly. Okay, so far right now, all these sounds just sound a bit too nice, and it's hard to hear that until we build out everything. But I'm just kind of curious to see what this would sound like if we were to like change. I don't know if we change it in all the instruments or just in like 1 or 2 of them, just to kind of mix things up a bit. So like, for instance, if I'm getting out here and so this is bass trombone, this is trombone 3. I don't know, I feel like on the higher end it's kind of sounding a little wonky. So this is tenor sax. Let's try maybe like a staccato. Okay. And this is just saving right now. But let's see. What if I did staccato tongue on the 2nd notes? And then, for instance, like this one, do the same thing. Just go down to the staccato, or actually, I have to do the opposite. Like that. And then, same thing here. Maybe we just do that and see how that sounds. Oops. Oh, actually, I flipped these. So go here and go like this. Okay. And not all these notes need to be that loud either. Maybe some of them are brought out more than others. We'll figure that out towards the end. So let's do the trumpet notes now, and we have 4 of these. So what we're gonna do on 2 of these, we're gonna go up to yeah. So it's this one right here, and then let's go on this one. Let's see here. The B, wait, B, G. There should be an A, so let's do the A notes instead. Actually, I might actually, does it go up that high? It does. Does it sound good? No, I don't know. But anyways, I do need to change one of these to the A and B. So it's basically these notes, A, D, E flat. Okay, so let's do that real quick. Like that. Okay. And all right. So let's see what's going on here. Okay. And then we'll do alto sax along with this. So I think alto sax, and this one plays this. Okay. All right. So actually, if I were to copy all those notes, then it looks kind of like this. Okay. And then with the tonguing, maybe again we try different articulations for different notes. So let's try like a staccato for a second and just see how that sounds. Okay. The only thing that sounds wonky to me is that the last sforzando thing that I tried. Let's go back to the marcato. Okay. So we got all of that, and then same thing with our alto sax. Alto sax. There you go. And then here, do I have expression maps in here? Let's see. I don't. Am I on the right one? Oh, I'm on the legato. Oops. Okay. So here. Okay. There we go. This is the last one. So let's hear how this would sound. Hello. Okay, yeah, I was afraid something like that would happen. So this library is really cool with the falls that it can generate. I don't know if you can hear that. But you have to hold a key, and I triggered it. I assigned it to C1 on my keyboard, but you can go like... And it's just really intuitive, and it's a lot of fun to play. But the problem is if you there's like this other setting where you set it to like a CC number, and it gets kind of stuck. So it's kind of a weird glitchy thing. Anyways, it's stuck right now, and to get it unstuck, you just have to press the keyboard on both of these, and then it's gone. So that's just one weird thing. Anyways. Okay, and that fall is kind of stylish, but I don't think we. Oops, I don't think we need it. Okay, so that glitch is gone. That little fall sound. Anywho, that's where I was at last time. Let's see. Listening to the notes here, if there are other notes that I'm missing. I'm probably missing one other note at least in terms of like the pitches, but I think I'm getting closer and closer. So we have G, we have A, G, B, and then the bass is a G. And one thing, I have different tricks. It looks like Guy Shard has other tricks where you can render the notes in place and stuff like that, which I'll try, and just out of curiosity. But what I'll do right now, I'm gonna slow down the instrument or the music, and the way to do that is just to make sure that this track is bounced to the current tempo that you're in, and then just do musical mode. All right. All right. So yeah, it's really hard to hear any other notes there per se, but going back to full tempo, I think we can just try that for now as we add our drums and other things. So drums. Drums, let's go down here. I decided to use 2 drums in the beginning. And let me just take like this rhythm that we have, put it in here, and let's assign it on C. Ooh, or even that rim shot. It's kind of nice. And then we'll bring up the volume or the velocity. We'll bring up the volume. Okay, and then okay, so that's one part of the drum. The other drum that I wanted to use was over here. Actually, this one. This sounds pretty good overall, just as a complete library. Hello, let's see here. All right, there you go. So there's your D snare. That's a rim shot as well. And you know, maybe we randomize some of this stuff. So let's vary that just a bit. Okay, so then this is what we have. Okay, and then we do need to balance the volume just a little more, so maybe like that, a little bit louder. Okay. Also, the band itself is a bit loud, so let's also bring that down just a bit. Let's balance this a little more. So I feel like the trumpet's a bit loud. Oops, let's see. Uh-oh, it's doing that thing again. I don't know how to fix that unless, sorry, one second. I think I triggered, oh yeah, there we go. I'm triggering this thing, and that's what's probably causing it. So, okay, so this is a CC glitch thing that I was talking about that is causing this sound to happen. I assigned it to CC2, but that's causing some issues here. So let's go ahead and get out of that. Okay. Tamashi is asking, how can we improve in orchestration? Whew. Basically, do what I do. Just practice. There's no other way around it. If you just do it enough, your ears start to get trained a certain way to hear things. But yeah, you know, there's the typical textbook route. You can pick up the Samuel Adler book. I believe it's called Art of Orchestration. But yeah, I mean, this is probably the best way to do it. Just deconstructing, reverse engineering your favorite music in the world, things that you grew up with. This is stuff I grew up with. All the music I'm covering in the last, like, you know, 100-something episodes now, were basically stuff I've always wanted to learn. And so just, you know, you don't have to live stream it. That's a pain in the ass, but you know, just do it like that. And yeah, definitely there's Udemy, there's a lot of great other you know, social media people out there. But with that being said, I'm not sure why my computer is doing this, but okay, it was just saving. Let's go ahead and try this again. Okay, so that's the idea. Now, I'm not sure if I really like the balancing of that so much. So let me go back to what I was doing earlier. I think it helps to use speakers and proper room as well. But this is what I did, and let's see if that sounds any better. Oh, sorry. Well, it doesn't when the piano's playing. So, yeah, it's not gonna be great sounding, but But hopefully with the bass and the drums that kick in right after this part, it gives a more convincing feel. But I am doing the bouncing a little different here. And of course, there's that fall thing that's happening. Sorry, 1 second. Whoopsie. And get out of this. Okay. And for some reason, that's pushed over there now. Sorry. Okay, so let me hear that in context. That's also pushed a little too much. One more time. Okay, so getting that sound over here, I'm wondering if I should just copy and paste it over, and or we just play and tweak it as we go. So first off, the drums kind of really pierce out a little more. Okay, so let's see if we can get that going. Let's try this and bring this up just a little bit more and see what that sounds like. I kind of like that as opposed to the other sound I was going for. Yeah. I do like that rim shot. It's a bit much, but yeah, I think I need to just bring that up. Okay, and let's listen to the recording once or twice. Okay, so the alto sax and trumpets really cut through here. Okay, so this is a bit weak sauce. What if I doubled this? Because these are two different sampled instruments. Okay. Okay, so that G is probably coming from more of the trumpet than I'm thinking. Sorry, let me hear again. So it's more a trumpet, and I'm just thinking where that saxophone, alto sax, fits in there. Okay. Also, this thing is a little funky. I thought the sforzando would be a good idea, but I'm finding it has like a weird because it's supposed to be doing that, but because of that, it tails off a little wonky. So I thought that was a good idea at first, but it's not. Okay, so alto sax, I'm a little bit perplexed on what to do here. Let's bring this and play this one instead. But I feel like one of them should be playing something higher and lower. Let's try that. Okay. And this is also doing stop tonguing. Man, okay. So let's try a different sound here. Let's bring this over here. Okay, so this trombone, the trombones are way too loud. Let's bring that down. And then let's bring up the trumpet. Let's see. It's a bit wimpy sounding. Okay, sounds a little bit better. Let's double this down here, actually. Okay, a little bit better. And then we'll just bounce that down just a tad. Okay. Is that the best we can do with this virtual orchestration? Probably. I mean, I'm thinking out loud. We could layer this with a different jazz orchestra library. So And this is just a Hail Mary at this point, but if I were to take these notes and, oops, let's actually go like this. If I take all of this and just double it in this one that I had here as just sort of an idea, I'm just curious. We can also assign different articulations here, but if I go like this and like this, bring this up, let's see. Okay, and let's just hear how that sounds. Okay, so it's just louder. It doesn't really, it's not doing much else. One other thing I thought of is from my Spitfire library, there's like a trumpet solo that I thought sounded pretty good. We could also layer this, and I thought of, why don't we try like an orchestral trumpet just on that last part. Okay. That kind of gives a little more tail, and that might be a little too much there at the end with the tail, but sounds it has a nice tone to it. Okay. Anyways, I think that's where we're gonna be at for now. Let's move on. Let's go to the nice little drum solo. So the drum solo I have here, and maybe I just copy this over. So it looks like this. And I'll just put these in as well. This is the bass drum notes. Going back to this session, it kind of sounds like this. So I'll put the grid on so you can kind of see. As you notice, the speed is actually behind the beat towards the very end. I kind of like that. It sounds a little more natural. Okay, and then we just need to bring up the volume there so so that it's more up front. Okay, I'm gonna heavily lean into my drum set experience and my Latin percussion experience when I was in college to really lead the charge here and make this part at least sound good. So after that little drum fill, you have the bass and the guitar coming in, and it kind of sounds like this. It's really fun to play. Let's see. Oops. Yeah, you get the idea. And it's just playing like a pentatonic scale with a little pickup note to the B flat. So basically you just do that. I'm going to copy it over just so that we have the line here. And then as it goes to the higher notes, you'll see, or actually you did that already, you'll see that it goes to the F. So it starts in C, and it's kind of like a blues scale, I mean a blues bar riff type of thing. And then a little bass drum there. Cool. All right, so there's all that. The next part then is what I figured out was this part, this steel guitar. And this steel guitar is actually from 8DO. And man, I got an older version of this, and I have to fix this, but you can't really see the GUI here, but that's just how it goes sometimes. So anyways, what I liked about this compared to all my other libraries is if you hit it on the very tippy top of the... Oh, I'm not sure why it's doing that. Sorry, 1 second. Well, anywho, there's something there with the reverb happening. But with that being said, it has a rattly sound that I really like, and that mixed in with this library, which is just a strum, like a dead strumming, guitar library. We got this thing, and it sounds like this. right? And rhythm-wise, it's not exactly there. On the strumming at least, and so I'm wondering if I should change that. Do we have other ones? We have this one, which is D. Let's see here. I'm just curious. That's kind of cool too, but this is more appropriate, I would say. The only thing is, I don't know if it resets, if I can reset it. No. Yeah, it's okay. So, or actually, it would be up here, huh, with this library. Let's see if it resets. No. I guess retriggering that doesn't, unless, let's see here. Oh, okay, you can do something like this. Oh, okay, look at this. Well, this actually gives you all the accents, I think. One E and two E and E and okay, so bum 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 bum. And if I can change that, that would be great. I'm not sure if I can though. Oh, I'm not sure what I just did. Yeah, so maybe I can't. I don't think I can change certain parts of this. I think it's just the way it's recorded, so that's okay. It's as close as enough that you don't really hear too much of the difference. I'm gonna put the volume down just a little bit. Maybe that's too much. You can just hear a clash of the accents with the bass line. It's not 100%, but you know what we could do? I think I'm gonna do this instead. I'm going to do a dry transfer and just render this part in place. Okay. And I think maybe we can get away with this a little bit by editing some of these, this particular WAV file. Okay, so you got, the problem I have is this one right here. It's kind of being nitpicky. But I like everything else after that. So what if we just, let's see, is there an easier way to do that? What if we brought this over into here, like that? So it just reattacks on the one. Okay, I kind of like that. And then this is the other phrase of that, of the sample. So we should probably keep that. And then do the same thing, just maybe take that, take that and put it here, and then it sounds like this. That sounds more appropriate for this bass line. And then let's just group it, and then go like this. Okay, let's hear how it sounds. Right, and this is panned to the right, as you can hear, and then the bass is more mono and center. Let's listen to the recording so you can hear the difference. All right, there's a lot more.
I think it's time.
A lot more distortion. It's a lot more aggressive too. This one, I wonder if I can get it a bit more aggressive by just bringing out some of the velocity there. But then I'm afraid that it's not going to sound as good, so I don't know. So some of those notes are a bit too low on that end, so maybe I'll compress that a bit. Alright, anyways, so there's that. The plugin I'm using to make it more crunchy is the Devil Lock. To kind of get it more bright. I don't know if I should probably do a fast release. Okay, so there you go. Maybe we bring up some of this. We give some more headroom for the other things, like the guitar. Okay, so there's that. And then the other thing that I really liked about this recording is they have shakers, and the shakers are a fun way to get that rhythm and just the energy going. So I think the shakers come in when the talking comes in. Oh yeah, that's the other thing I was gonna say. There's a dialogue that I pulled from this recording, just using the spectral layers.
I think it's time we blow this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
All right.
I think it's time we blow this scene.
So I think it starts here.
I think it's time we blow this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
Okay, and this shaker is just a loop shaker that I found in the media loop samples. I like this one. I don't have any problems with it, but with that that's panned to the left if you can hear it with a good pair of speakers or headphones. And the last component to really get this going, besides the drum set, there, as you can hear, there's like just a kick here and there, is the bongos, excuse me, the bongos. And the bongos really give it life. One of my favorite parts. Okay, so let's hear how that sounds together.
I think it's time to blow this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
Cool. And then I transcribed this part. It's a little bit different every time, but I think it's such a cool part. Anyways, that's where we're at now. So I basically got everything to where we are without the horns, pretty much. So I got the horn part in the beginning, and then all this stuff. So let's go ahead and add in everything else. Oh, sorry. There you go. That's what I want to do.
I think it's time to blow this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
Okay, cool. All right, so going back to the horns, because now we're going to really be focusing on horns and organ for the rest of the time, and anything else. Yeah. So over here, I should just mention real quick, we have my bus of everything. So over here you have, this is a brass group or bus. I have just some other things going on in here. This is a convolution reverb. I'm trying to remember which one I did. I did the Burbank. Oops. And getting out of that, let's see. I think the thing about this one I had a problem was too much tail, and because it's nice when it's a little bit drier sounding. And then I also put this in. This guy here is actually causing some issues. I'm hearing a little bit of wobbling, a little too much. So I'm just going to bring this down a bit. And I'm going to solo the brass real quick. So this is... So it sounds a little like too artificial. But that sounds better. So I'm just going to go 50% on that. That was the thing that kind of was like, whoa, that sounds a little too weird. And then I add a little bit of warp depth in here. And then the most important part about this one, this isotope vinyl, is putting it in mono. You can do it in stereo. Let's hear it in stereo real quick. I mean, it doesn't matter too much because I have this plugin that makes this more mono, but you know, I don't know if it does really much a difference, so I'll just keep it in stereo. But the most important part are these settings here. I opted for like the 60s, 50s would sound good. The 30s is a bit too much, but it's cool too. That's the 50s. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of back and forth on the 50s and 30s. I mean, 60s, excuse me. Let's just hear how it sounds in the 30s with the brass. Wow, that's kind of cool. I don't know. I'm actually thinking the 30s might sound better. So let's see here. All right, and then we could do that with basically the other half, which are the horns, the woodwinds, and the woodwinds again. I'm kind of maybe thinking about the settings a little more. Like if I just shrink this down a bit. This one here, same thing, this changes to 50%. Man, let's see how this sounds on the 30s. Huh. I don't know. What do you guys think? I kind of think the 30s sound better now. It just does something with the EQ there that it sounds more vintage. So I don't know. Maybe I'll do that. That helps hide things a little more. And let's go to the next part now. So the next part is the melodies. Let's listen to the song.
I think it's time to blow this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
So let's just go up into that part. So Sam's back. Hey, how's it going? Tamashi, should we mock a song one time and then move to the next song? Yeah, I would say so. Especially early on, just take your time. You know, there's no rush. Especially if you're in the beginning stages of learning all this stuff, you want to take as much time as you want or can to get better. I remember when I first did my first 2 or 3 transcriptions, it probably took me like at least a month or something like that, just because you're tweaking. Especially, it wasn't full time for me either, so I would do it after work or something. But yeah, as time goes on, you can really dish them out if you start to have a workflow, have a template, all that stuff. Okay, so listening to that, we have maybe saxophones first. By the way, saxophones are down here. In score order, generally it's up here. I'm going to do that just so I can kind of work that way in my head as well. So there's 2 patches. I have this one, which is a legato patch, and it looks different too. Over here you can see how this one has like actual faders, and it has 3 different particular crossfades for the dynamic layer, and then now with the 30s it's really vintagey, but basically, sorry, I'm not sure why it's going up. Oh, I know why. Okay. So I'm just thinking, what's the best dynamic? Probably there, right? Sorry, it just keeps doing that. It's really bugging me. Let me see what I have that set to. That what was it called? Vibrato layer, something like that. 5. Huh. Okay. I'm not sure why it keeps triggering there. Anywho, so we just want to do that. Okay, and then let's just hear that in context with the tenor sax. I think the tenor sax and bari sax are octave lower like this. And then all right, so it might sound a little funky with that little filter I have, but let's try going upwards from that point on. So we'll maybe start from here.
I think it's time.
Okay, so let's go. Maybe we go a little slower on this so that I can get the timing better. Let's turn this off. Okay. Two, one, let's jam. Actually, let me just double check something here. Okay, sorry. I just realized this isn't in musical mode, so it's kind of throwing me off. Let me do one thing. Let me bounce this. Let's put this in musical mode, and then so when I slow it down, I don't have to go that slow actually. I'll go 114 just to bump it up, and then I'm kind of using this as my guide. I can just put a marker there, but yeah. So there's that, and here we go. Let's try again. Okay. First off, it sounds a little, maybe if it's too high, let's see. So let's listen to that again. Oh. I think that's in the right register. Okay, so first off, that's this particular patch, but if I were to try that patch here instead, but using different articulations instead, how would that sound? I'm just curious. I might re-record this too, but I just want to hear maybe the styling, which is the best way to go. So. Whoa, hello. Okay, and then this one we do, let's say this one. Okay, sorry, it keeps jumping. Okay, and this note needs to go longer. Let's try this one. Okay. All right. So that's sort of the feel that we want. Now is that too short? Is that the right notes? Oh, I see. I'm just rushing there. Okay, so the problem with this filter that I have, which is going into my woodwind library, is it's like cutting out some of those low end stuff. So sounds a little, yeah, brighter. There's just certain things happening there, but then that affects this sound, doesn't it? I don't think it's that bad. Maybe we keep it on the 50s for this library, or I mean the woodwinds. The only problem is it's a little quiet, so I don't know if there's a way to bring that up. Maybe you just bring this up a bit more in general. That sounds better. Okay, so this can all go down just a little bit. And all right. Okay, all right. So then there you go. Let's go ahead and maybe we can play it I think I can play and just do a better job. Let's do that. Let's go ahead and just record again, and then now I know how to program that afterwards. I'm gonna slow that down just a bit. Yeah, let's go back 2 measures. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, that's right. Let's see, what am I doing wrong? Oh, okay, it's just behind me. Oh. Well, let's try that again. Okay, so something I noticed is the shaker stop and the guitar stop. So I'm gonna change that too. Kind of throws me off, but no excuse here. I can do this. So let's go ahead and fix all this. Okay. So after that, there was like probably one of those moments where it could take, like this one. Maybe not. I mean, the closest one would probably be that first one, right? And then these other ones are just kind of rushing. That's the hard part about getting this to sound good is just you gotta play it well, right? Let's try this here. That's the first step, playing it well. But when you're in a bind, or if you're just trying to compose something, that's a whole different thing. Okay, so we talked about doing different articulations. Let's try something like this. Let's make this a little bit more steady. Okay, and then for notes that are long, like this one, let's do sustain. Just a little bit in front of the beat. Okay. Doo-doo, doo-doo. Doo-doo, 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 doo-doo. You know what's bugging me is these notes might be just a little too loud. And maybe in front of the beat too. So I'm gonna bring that down. Okay. And some of these just are a little loud. Maybe this one too is a bit loud. Okay, and then let's shape it. A little bit too much. Okay, great. So there we go. There's things like that that'll help. And then moving on, let's go to the tenor sax. Now that we kind of have something there, we could probably just use the same notes here. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. Sounds a little bit different, right? The way they sample this sax versus that sax. Let's listen to the recording. Yeah, I think that works. Let's just work our way up. Okay, let's see how that would sound now with the alto sax and the octave higher. Okay, first off, I gotta be on the right one. One thing I probably can mess with also on all of these is the CC1 data. So I'm already all the way up, but maybe we go down a little bit. Let's try again. Oh, oops. Actually, let's just do it on all of them. Let's try again. Let's listen to this one. So the alto sax is kind of quiet there. Ah, look at that. Partly it's because of this. Okay, let's try again. Okay, and it might actually be different at the end there, but I'll just keep it like that for now. Okay, and then it's a little quiet, but if we double that, let's see how that sounds. Okay, cool. And then there might be trumpet and trombone too. But I like your comment there, Guy. It reminds me of a bit of the music from the old TV series Mannix. Okay, just looked it up. with the picture and all that. That's cool. So it's like a throwback, right? Because this one came out in the early 90s. Cowboy Bebop. I'm sure that Mannix was much older. Okay, so let's listen for other notes here.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
There's not a lot of vibrato. And also, it's a bit more marcato throughout those notes. So what I did sounded good in theory, but maybe I'm going too much on those notes, and that's gonna be a problem. Stylistically, boom, boom. So maybe we just keep it a bit stronger. There's probably a quicker way to do this. Let's see. I'm just gonna fix this one real quick. Boom, boom. On these ones, let's see if I can just do more of a global thing like this. Like this, like this. Okay, let's do that. Let's bring that up just a bit. Cool. Okay, and this one, E. Let's see. Let's bring this down just a bit. Okay, and this one also is just a bit shrill in that register. Cool. A bit too long in the note length here. This one, as you can see, is a bit longer than the other notes. Okay, cool. So there's that. Anything else happening there? I think we might want to layer this just a little more as well to just see how that would sound with something a little thicker. Let's try this one. First off, are these all horns, or I would say saxes in this case? No, so let's go ahead and do that. So we have 60s horn with bari, tenor, and alto. Okay, so this is that session horns. On this one, we need to reassign. Let's go staccato, or maybe staccatissimo. Let's see. Oh, that sounds weird. That sounds a little better. Let's see how we can roll with that. There's something funky with the velocity, so I'm just going to make it more congruent. Okay, let's try that. Okay, cool. That sounds a little better. Let's bring down that. There's something nice about this one. I think it's because this one overlaps a little more, or no, this is a staccato. It's kind of behind the beat. Let's see if this one is doing that too. It is. Maybe this one is just a little bit too much. There's something wrong, like kind of stiff on that phrasing. And then maybe this one too, I don't know. Maybe this one shouldn't be. Oh, where am I at? I'm on all of these, huh? So maybe less of the timing and more about these sounds, the pickup. Maybe we do like a velocity, or I mean a different articulation. So like something like this. Yeah, that's a weird one. Let's try this one. And then that one sounds a little weird too. I'm gonna bring this up just a bit. Oh, actually, that's the filter. Let's see. Okay. This one timing's a little off. But up. Okay. Nice. So what we're gonna do now is, so I'm actually really digging the session horns for that moment, and I'm kind of curious. Maybe I should do that for down below on this part. Sorry, it's kind of loud. Let's try again. Let's bring up the volume on this. I'm just curious to see if this does anything. I don't know. I don't think it's there's any redemption here for that beginning. But okay, so we got that part. Da 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 da. Okay, so now we have this really fun little da 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 da. Which maybe we start with the bass and drums. So where are we at? Okay, right here. So it kind of does this from memory. Wow, that might be too low. There you go. Let's see if I can do that. Okay. Oh, I see. So that note shouldn't be there. Oh, actually, let's go a little bit slower. Okay, that's what it is. So let's listen to the recording so you can hear that. Did I get it right? Okay, let's listen. All right, so it's kind of a bit too fuzzy at this point now with this thing, but it's hard to get that right balance. Anyways, and it's not the right guitar. It could be electric guitar too. But anywho, so you got this fun little idea. I'm just gonna do a soft quantize. Maybe bring that in just a bit. All right, so da-da, 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 da. Okay, so you have that, and here it's just 2 bars. It's a really cool 2-bar phrasal. Let's listen to the other percussion stuff. Okay, so you have this, another shaker, and then bongos. Let's see what the bongos are doing. Go to the recording. Okay, so I hear just kind of doubling the rhythm there. Ba-da, ba-da, boop, ba-da, boop, ba-da, boop, ba-da, boop. Kind of like that. Ba-da, boop, ba-da, boop. Okay, but it has to be a little bit more bombastic. Like a flam, maybe. And this one too. Like that, maybe. That flam might be a little too much. Yeah, let's just go louder on that. Okay. And then let's listen to the recording again. Yeah, so it's just going da-da. Da-da, boo, da-da, boo, da-da, da-da, boo, da-da, boo, da-da. Okay. And maybe we can go louder on this part. Da-da. Okay. What if we double this? That's kind of weird. What if I just did the lower one? Yeah, that sounds a little better. Okay, so there's that. The drum set is gonna do something similar. Let's just bring it down here. So we have this. By the way, this TV version of Tank and then Cowboy Bebop is actually shortened. If you listen to, like on Spotify, the actual Tank, it's 3 minutes long, and this one is only 1.5 minutes long. So they're actually splicing this moment to another moment. And I should mention that because the drum set's not playing here, but then you'll hear drum set here out of nowhere. And I think that might be, well, that might not be part of the splicing, but you'll notice that the drum set comes in after this. So it's kind of weird if you listen close, and it's like, huh, that's kind of an odd entrance. for a drum set. So I'm thinking maybe I can add a little bit of the drum set moment here too. Would be kind of fun. Anyways, so we have the snare here. Da-dup, da-dup, da-dups, da-dups. So the kick is hitting those notes with a hi-hat. So, oh, look at that. I can make this a hi-hat. It could be that, or it could be that too. But we have to close it. So like, oops, sorry. So let's try this. Kick's a little loud. It's kind of like that. Okay. Bring the snare down just a bit. That could be a rim shot. Let's listen. So let's do just normal snare, and then on this part we'll do a little rim shot. Or we could do the first hit. Maybe we do that. First hit is a rim shot. Even that one too, actually. I'll bring that down. Okay. I think there's a little fill leading out of that. Da 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 da. Okay. And then a crash hit. Okay, so there's that. What else are we doing? Okay. So that's just the bass and drums. I think there's guitar here. Maybe not. So there is no guitar. It drops out for a second, which is cool. And then okay, so let's listen to the horns. So I hear trumpet, trombone kick in. There's also saxophones there. Okay, so let's do the more obvious one. Trumpet. Let's just do all four. Oh, so that's what I'm hearing. There's some harmony happening there too. Maybe we'll do the first two trumpets. Which articulation? That's staccatissimo. That's staccato tonguing. And this is just normal staccato. Or the combination. Maybe we do staccato tonguing for now. I kind of flubbed that, didn't I? Let's fix that right there. Okay, so there's that. Let's put that that. That's also kind of behind the beat. Or in front of the beat, I should say. convinced that's the right articulation. So let's try bringing this up to maybe this one. And I'll try different velocities. Maybe go lower. I don't know. Okay, so that's that. Thinking about other notes here. Okay. Okay, so we can kind of do that as our bass, and then bring it down. I'm not sure if we're going thirds. No, that sounds too happy. Oops. It might be seconds again. So like, I'm curious if I go down. And then, kind of sounds like it, but not. We'll play around with that. Okay, let's listen again. Well, let's try a different approach. So I'm just gonna mute that. Come back to it if we change our mind there. Oops, like that. Okay, so let's try a different note. So we have F sharp. Tritone. Or a perfect fourth. Or actually, oops, that wasn't a tritone. Tritone would have been there, but would be here. So this is a perfect fourth. That sounds a little bit better. Let's listen and see if it's that all the way through. I'm not hearing anything. Oh, there you go. So we have here. Oh, weird. Sometimes this happens too. Let me actually just fix this real quick. Alright, okay. It's there now. That's just this arm button. So I'm just trying to figure out notes here, right? So we got ba-dum, ba-dum. Let me mute this. Okay, alright, we're almost there. There you go. I'm still hearing those notes. Oh, that's because I'm muting the wrong notes. I should be here. Try again. I can kind of hear the notes. Does it go down on some of those? Let's hear it again. Kind of hear something like that in the saxophones. Let's slow it down just a bit. So that's the melody, but the harmony is much harder to hear. Kind of in a weird place here. Interesting. It almost sounds like two of the same notes. No, it's that. But what about octaves? Maybe octaves for now. Let's just try octaves for now, because I'm kind of stuck right now. So there's your octave. Let's try this and put it down here and just see how that sounds, and then there might be a hole that we can hear. Let's see. So this one, oh, it should be here. It shouldn't. Okay, so where are we at? Let's bring this down. There you go. Ba-dum. The other problem I have with this is it's just so short. So while we do this, maybe we change the articulation so it's a little like more rounder. Something like this one. Interesting. And it does sound a little thinner just because of the way the filtering is happening. It's also partly the samples. Okay, now after you do that a few times, you get that in your ears. Okay, one more time. I'm almost hearing like trills in the saxophone. Okay, so I do hear that now. Okay, so let's try this. Let's try this in the trumpets. So yeah, it should be that. Okay, so let's listen to that. So also, because of the sample articulations, what if we did half of these the same, and then the other half different, like that? Let's just hear how that sounds. That's kind of bugging me. Okay, so there you go. There's some other things happening there. Let's bring this into the saxophone. Okay, and I want to say the tenor sax is playing that one, and yeah, but it's got to be like this. Boom. Okay, so like that on the tenor sax. Oh, another reason why I like this library so much is it's uniform throughout, so like all the articulations are the same for every instrument that you're dealing with here. Let's hear it. I'm gonna speed it up. Okay, something happened. Let me try that again. Oh, I think my computer's acting up here. Oh, okay. Well then, if that's the case, let me try a few things. I'm not sure what's happening. I'm gonna engage some of these libraries, and it's just weird because it just started happening now. Uh-oh. Hello. Okay, let's. Oh man. Well, that's not fun. I don't like when samples start bugging out here. Let's see. There was a bug in this library that I was dealing with earlier, and it seems like I'm running into something else. I'm not sure what's going on here. But while I figure that out, I'll answer your question, Jathan. Have you shared the libraries yet? I had to step away for a few. Oh yeah, I did. I did talk about that early on. We're working with Glory Days, as you can see here. But something is up with my computer. I'm not sure why all of a sudden it's starting to spike. Let me just see something here. That is really gnarly. I'm not sure what made that just get all panicky, but let me try a trick here. Sometimes this works if I just turn on a different ASI or guard and see if that does anything different. Huh. Well, look at that. It's still spiking, as you can see. So that's not going to work while we're playing this. Huh. Well, that's going to be an issue here. What time is it, by the way? 9:40? Okay, so, I'm debating if I should just restart my session, but that's going to be annoying, huh? Because there's not much I could do, and this doesn't happen often. Let me just see if there's anything obvious that may have triggered that. I didn't press anything either. It just kind of started bugging out here. But, yeah, that's really odd. Sometimes that would help, but let me see if there's anything else causing this to spike all of a sudden. It could just be the library acting wonky too. So, anywho. So, if I play this, let's see what happens. Even this will trigger it. Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening, guys. So if that's the case, I might have to just call the session today, because we're at a weird standpoint. I think if anything, I can try playing it, or if the worst comes to worst, I'll I don't think it's gonna play. I'll just render it in place and see if that will play. Yeah, something's up. Well, I think unfortunately that's all we have time for today. And I could restart, the session and whatnot, but with my surgery, my gum graft, it's probably a sign. Maybe I should just call it for today. So we're gonna call it short. Unfortunately, I'm not sure what's going on. It seems like the computer is just bugging. So we will reconvene next time, and let's just call it good for today. If you guys have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them while we're here. We can restart Cubase, but I'm kind of like on the fence on that too. I think there's something just not right here. You guys want me to try? We have to sit through a little bit of this. Yeah, it's so weird. Look at that. It could be like a weird hard drive thing. I'm not even sure. Okay. Well, Jathan says, wait. Let's see. Let's try it. I'm gonna just get out. Let's go ahead and save this. And let's just see how it goes. This is my beautiful desktop, as you can see here. Yeah, it's so strange. Hopefully this will help, but it could be also my slave. So I'm just gonna double check here. We're gonna disengage this. Let's pick a library that I have on. If there's something stuck, like let's see, the drums. Sometimes it'll get stuck, like in the audio right here. But no, it seems good. Yeah. And these are big libraries, so these kind of take a bit for it to load as well. But let's see. Let's give it a sec. We'll see if that works. If not, we'll just call it. But yeah, Jathan also mentioned the libraries I'm using. So you can see the visuals for them here. As you can see, I'm using the Abbey Road Modern Sparkle, which is from the Native Instrument line. And then there's other ones I have loaded up, but I'm not using them. What else? The bass guitar that I'm using right now, the upright, this actually, I have two. And another win for Native Instruments is just their factory library. Another one that might be good is like the Scarby bass for electric bass that we might change around. The organ, I love this organ. This is another Native Instruments. This is just like the gospel organ library, and I think we'll use that for that little glissando stuff that's happening a little bit later in the piece. I got the trumpet. This is just Spitfire, and then that's it. Everything else is actually in this library here. But as you can see, something is not even closing, so let's just get out of it. And should I use Cubase instead? Let's try the Cubase version of this. Yeah. Well, the main brass library for this particular cue and tank is actually going to be the Glory Days, but I did double it in the beginning to just make it sound a little more round. Let's see how this goes, guys. Boop, boop, boop. Oh yeah, also I should mention in the bongos is Cuba, which is another good old Native instrument. So I use a lot of Native instruments for a lot of the ethnic stuff. Even just like band stuff, like anytime I need like a good bass guitar line, they have a really good set of things. Shakers, I also have a few different shakers that I was using. I ended up using just a loop, as you saw earlier. But yeah, they have some good things going on. Native Instruments, they're like the, I don't want to offend them, but I mean they're kind of like the Walmart of all sample libraries. They have a little bit of everything, and good stuff too. Good sounds. Libraries, they probably bottom up, as time went on, and They have certain libraries that specialize in certain things, so they're all really good. The upright bass, one thing I might want to try messing around with down the road for upright bass is the Trillion library by Spectrasonics. It's kind of an older library, but still really good. So we're almost there. We're going to be loading this up in just a second. Yeah, that Glory Days stuff is pretty expensive. I got it during Black Friday for like half off. And this is actually the first time using it and sitting down with it. One thing I noticed is there's a weird bug happening in the library, and if you ever get it, excuse me, I would stay away from the Niente here. So never turn that on because it actually causes a big glitch. And they even confirmed. I actually emailed support on that. But we're back, and we're actually using Cubase, not Nuendo this time. I'm kind of curious to see if it'll actually work. So let's give it a shot here. Okay. Well, we're back, guys. Back in action.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
Okay, so that's where we were last time. As we were playing that, it got all glitchy. So hopefully that doesn't happen again. But anyways, thanks for waiting, guys. Let me go ahead and bring some of this down now. So the easiest way to do that is just go here, boom, and let's go ahead and bring the velocity down, or actually not the velocity, the CC11 down. Okay, still a little too much. Okay, so we have all the high stuff happening. Tenor sax is rounding that out just a little bit, but it should probably be like that. This, I'm not sure. Probably an octave lower too. We'll double check that. We also need to get the trombones back in. So I actually turned that off when I played it in the beginning, so that also was not playing those notes here. But anyways, let's do the same treatment. So we're gonna just take this, we're gonna take and bring it down here. Let's take this note. Okay. Cool. Kick wise, just a little more. Okay. So then you have anything else? So we have a bass trombone. And let's go down. Okay, so there's that, but let me see here. Man, there's some weird, like, fluttery saxophone there. So let's see. Would that be alto sax? Whew. There's a big difference there. Let's try something here. Maybe we take this and we go da-da-da, da-da-da. So da-da, 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 da-da-da, da-da-da. Get it right there. Okay, so I'm gonna experiment with this. Dun-dun, dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. So on this, let's see. Okay, so there's some fluttering type of thing going on here. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. So maybe it goes da-da-da, da-da-da. The only problem with this is all going into this library, in this plugin, I mean. So if I, oops, let's go back. How did I do that? So yeah, the problem is we're dealing with this thing here, and something is just a little funky here. And that's because I was in a different filter. Sorry, still kind of triggering something there. Anyways, I don't know. I'm not sure why it's sounding the way it does. Let me just double check here. No, we're good. There's just something like really bright and just funky about what I'm hearing tone-wise. I can't put my finger on it. Let's see. So we have this. I mean, it could be this mono thing that I have, and I am a little bit hesitant turning it off or doing anything there. Anywho, there's something just not right there tone-wise, but well, let's just get the notes down. Do-do-do, do-do-do. Do-do-do, do-do-do. So these are supposed to be legato, and I can hear it, but it's just not a pleasant legato. It could be one note above it. Da, 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 da. Let's see here. There you go. Yeah, not sure about this whole thing. Anyways, I'm like cringing because of the tones of this is just so not right. And let me just double check this too. I'm just wondering if there's anything else I could do here, because right now this is doing stuff I'm not sure. See, yeah, that's doing a little too much there, but yeah, I don't know. I'm just on the fence with that plugin. It sounds good in the beginning, but then it kind of falls after you do these. You actually go through the melody and stuff. So anyways, let's keep it, but I'm not 100% sold. It's just samples. I mean, it's just so hard to get it to sound right. Balance wise though, do I have the balance? So the trumpets really kick through. So maybe I'm too high. Maybe like one of these go here and another goes an octave below. Okay. And then I also have to just turn off this thing. So let me try one thing here, because it's triggering the falls again. Okay. So this stuff is just not the right articulation. Maybe not a marcato as much as just a staccato. Anywho, little changes here and there. Okay, and I really can't hear that alto sax stuff here that I was talking about. Was like fluttering. That's a little better. Okay, so I can hear that now. Are we good? I'm missing bari sax. Okay, let's add the bari sax in here. Let's hear this recording. Okay, so there's one other note I'm hearing. Da-da, da-da, bump, da-da, bump. So we're missing that. Okay, so let's add that in, and I think that would do it in terms of the notes. So here we go. The bass trombone and bari sax probably should be playing that together. So let's do this. Let's take out one of these notes and we'll put them into, let's say, staccato. Okay. Da-da, boom. Okay, like that. So we have that note and we have that note. Okay, that sounds better. This also should be panned to the right. That's what I'm hearing. So that's going to be a problem because of the way I have these situated. So what if, what if I put this in a different bus? So even though they're not the typical, I'll put this in strings since we don't have a string in this particular track. And I'll put this one also in string. That way it's not mono in the middle, and we can start panning that accordingly. So let's go here and here. We'll go to the right just a bit. There you go. So we're making some headway now. Interesting. I'm missing bass trombone here. Okay, that's the tangent. But over here, well, let's. The reason why I want that basically is so that I can glue this together, and then we can see where our velocity or main volume is. So let's do that. Okay, and then same thing here. Okay, all right, and then the next notes would be here. Okay, so we can just finish that off, and I think that's all the time we'll have today. I think so. Okay, so over here, let's listen. Bum ba bum. We'll do that after. So let's just finish that off. Okay. Ba-dum. And then we'll stop there. So easy. Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. So let's just take all of this, and we're going to do one of these. Eighth note. Okay, so take ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. We'll do that much. We'll go here. Okay. All right, so then it would sound kind of like this. Okay, and then we'll stop on da, 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 da. So it would stop on the end of that bar. Okay, cool. Okay, now let's listen to this part. Trumpets kick in as well, so let's put that in down here as well. This can be doubled up. So we go here. Okay, and we'll put this down here. Oops. Yeah, so let's put this one down here. Okay. Okay. So for some reason I'm hearing the long notes. Oh, right here. Okay. There you go. Okay. So now we can go ahead and put this all together. Let's just make sure that the CC data is somewhat neutral, so it's not jumping everywhere here. This looks okay. This one's kind of big. Let's just go high on that one. Same thing here. Let's go high. Okay. All right. So that's good. And then drum-wise, oh yeah, I did mention drums kicking in earlier would be kind of fun, but at least for here, I know the drum beat fairly well. So let's just program that in. Let's see. So you can do eighth notes like that. Okay, so it kind of does that, and then bum 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 bum. Okay, and then there's a snare on the and here bum bum ka bum 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 ka bum bum ka bum ka. I would say maybe a snare here. Bum bum ka bum 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 ka. Let's just do that, and then there's a crash. Okay. And then we can use that as a framework for the beginning part too if you want. Let's just do the other stuff. So we got shakers, bongo. Let's put this one in for now. let's put this one back in. And let's put, oops, it should be over here. Also, oh yeah, shaker is going through. Good, good, good. Okay, right there, and then we'll stop. Okay, so that is pretty much that. We'll get to the organ part when it glissandos, which is pretty fun. All right, so we got that. We'll just stop that, and we'll just delete that. Okay, so the last thing before I go today. By the way, thanks for your patience. Sorry about the weird glitchy thing that was happening earlier, but that went away pretty quickly, so not as bad as I thought. Hey, Welby, good to see you, man. How you doing? Okay, so on this part, we got... Oh yeah. So this is the beginning. So this one's kind of... What we're going to do is we're going to just dial this back just a little bit.
3, 2, 1, let's jam.
Okay, I'll bring that up just a bit. Okay. Bum, bum. And this snare, let's see. Boom, 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 boom. Let's try this. Okay, so we kind of have this nice programming thing going on. Okay. Ooh, look at that little shaker thing happening there. Okay, so this is the first part of the tank, and we're getting there. Let's see how it sounds from the very start. And you know, before we do that too, let me just put this all together so we can see it in real time. How about that? Boom, boom. These are all kind of glued or copied and pasted, but we're getting there. So, whoop, and whoop. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and press play. This is Tank. I'm going to go ahead and do this. Put myself down below here. Like that. Okay. And let me put that video back in.
I think it's time to blow this thing. Get everybody in step together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
All right. Awesome. Well, that's all for today, guys. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Like this video if you're enjoying the content and want to see more in the future. All right. I'll see you guys later. Take care, guys.